this video, I'd like to take a few minutes just to show the new faceplates for FactorTalk Optix that Rockwell Automation has made available. So one of the things that were, one of the most anticipated new features of the 1.4 release of FactorTalk Optix is support for faceplates. If you're not that familiar with faceplates, Rockwell Automation has a complete library of these faceplates for various products that can easily integrate into a Logix controller as far as the add-on instructions go, and then the graphical piece would go into the HMI tools such as View SC or View Machine Edition for panel view, or even the Panel View 5000 using the Studio 5000 View Designer. So when Optix was released by Rockwell, a couple years ago now, year and a half ago now, the faceplates were something that weren't there yet, but were in development. So with version 1.4, we now have the ability to bring in these faceplates. So next piece of that, of course, is the device libraries themselves. So they have to be updated to work with Optix. So at the moment here, at the time of this video being recorded, which is early July 2024, the first two device libraries have been released that provide faceplates for Optix. So one is the Power Device Library, which is got shown here. Version 3.05 now supports FactorTalk Optix. So the Power Device Library is a pretty extensive library with HMI faceplates for all of the power devices from Rockwell, such as E300s, Powerflex drives, the Kinetics, Armor Kinetics, as well as the Soft Start SMCs. So pretty useful amount of devices listed here. What the faceplate typically does is it gives you a kind of a graphical launch button and then the actual faceplate itself. And the faceplate is just a pre-built pop-up that pulls information from the Logix controller and then displays it in a simplified and organized manner. So again, there's usually two pieces to working with these faceplates. One, you have to install an add-on instruction inside of your Logix controller, be it either Control Logix or Compact Logix, and then that add-on instruction will interface with this faceplate in the HMI software. The other library that got released here just the beginning of July is the Safety Device Library, and it will be version 1.05. So it's important that you get the latest version if you need to have the Optix support. The Safety Device Library basically will provide some faceplates around some of the safety devices and things like the dual channel safety mats and stuff like that. So again, these are designed to help you kind of simplify your application or your development and use a consistent faceplate amongst all the products. So first part is, how do we find this device library if you're not that familiar with them? If you've used them before in panel views or in FactorTalk View Site Edition, then the process here is going to be pretty similar. But it's all going to start, first off, the faceplates are free. They're completely free downloads. So all you got to do is go to the Rockwell Compatibility Download Center. And if you just kind of come here to the search bar, we can type in, for instance, Power Device Library. And I'm going to hit search. So we can see that we get both the device library and then the power device. So this is the complete set of all the libraries that are out there, and you can kind of see the listing here. In addition to the power, you also have an IO device library, IO link, the safety device, network device for the static switches, condition monitoring. So the rest of these faceplates will eventually will get updated to have Optix support. But currently, again, the only two that are out there will be the Power Device Library and the Safety Device Library. So I want to look at the power device library more specifically. I'm going to go ahead and click on versions, just to show you that this kind of chart shows you the previous versions. So again, 3.05 is the latest version. So anything below 3.05 would not support Optix. Another little tip here is if you don't really know if this supports Optix or not, you can click on the Show Release Notes, and that'll pull up the release notes. And we can see here that the under requirements that FactorTalk Optix 1.4.938 or later is listed here, so we know that this particular library is supported by Optix. So at this point, you can simply download the library, and then when you do that, it will go into your kind of default download folder for Rockwell software, which for me is at the C level, root level, creates an RA folder for Rockwell Automation. You'll get this power device library. It comes down as a zip file. Once you extract the zip file, you'll get the this kind of file structure or folder structure in the folder. So it's good to take a few minutes to explore all these folders just to kind of become familiar with what these libraries do. You can see that there is a folder now for the Optix libraries. There's a folder for the ME, Machine Edition, Site Edition, View Designer, which again would be the Panel View 5000. And there are all of the Studio 5000 Logix designer files. So these are your add-on profiles that would work with each of the faceplates. There is a folder here for videos. So Rockwell has some videos that they provide that just talks about how to import and use the faceplates. Unfortunately, from what I've seen here, they haven't updated this for Optix yet. These are all around Machine Edition and View SC, but even if you're not, if you've never used a faceplate before, some of these videos could actually be useful, even if they don't have Optix, specifically. The other thing is the reference manual. So there is the reference manual right here, which I already have open. And it's very important to take a few minutes to just read through this manual. It's going to talk about not only how do you use the library and how do you import the faceplates into Optix, it'll also give you information on each individual faceplate and some details about it. So this is a pretty extensive book. It's 358 pages because it goes through each and every faceplate in detail. So definitely take a few minutes to read through this manual. If we, let me come back up here, I lost my spot. Let me come to install the library using FactorTalk Optix. So if I just click ahead to here, I'll show this to you in a minute, but it talks about, how to download the library, which I just showed you, how to register, which essentially means installing it. They use the term register here. There's nothing to register. There's no license required. And then where the libraries kind of show up inside of Optix. And also some discussion around using the style sheet, and I'll show that here in a few minutes as well. So the other thing I want to show in the folder before I move on is that there is an application example. That's actually what I'm going to use. So we can open up this Optix application example. They also give you one for Machine Edition and Site Edition. And they even give us a demo ACD file that has all the add-on profiles already installed. So it'll interface to the faceplates. So I went ahead and took the Optix and the ACD file, and I've went ahead and got that opened up here in Optix as well as in Studio 5000. So just to show you, as far as Studio 5000 goes, the process is you would bring in the add-on instruction for that particular device. So for instance, if you have a Powerflex 525 drive, you would bring in the add-on instruction that would be for the faceplate, to interface with the faceplate for the Powerflex 525 drive. So if I just come here to under Assets, we'll see add-on instructions. And this particular demo program, again, which comes with the download, has all the add-on instructions kind of already put in here, right? So it's very kind of a complete project. You can kind of reverse engineer it a little bit and take a look at what they've done. As far as the tags go, if we go under Program, we'll see that we have local tags, and they're all kind of called DVC for device. So each of these kind of data types, user-defined data types, so to speak, or will have the tags associated with that particular device. And that's kind of what Optix is going to interface with, is each one of these kind of tag structures here. All right, so since I don't have a extensive lab with all these devices, I do have this running in my Logix Echo. So I have this chassis with the CPU in slot 3, which corresponds to what happens here in this example program. So I have basically this program is running in the Echo right now. So if I come back to Optix, just to show you a few things here. One, how do you find the faceplates? Well, we're going to come up here to the library. So when you do install them, once they get installed into Optix, which I didn't show that step, by the way, it's actually very straightforward. Back here in the library, there is a setup setup command script. All you got to do is double click that, and that setup command script will basically take the Optix files that are in this folder and then put them into the library for you. So there's nothing for you to actually physically do other than double click on that startup script or setup script. So to find them, we're going to go basically to the library, and we see now that under here in the top, we have a couple of things that got added. We have the power device in the V3R for version 3. Also have the safety one loaded in here. But if I expand this or just click on it, we'll see that we have these folders with all this RAC 302 RA. So each one of these is a faceplate for a particular item. And if I click on it, it does give me a little bit information here that it's Power Monitor 500. Right, so this is the Power Monitor 500 faceplate. And again, if I want to learn more about what this faceplate is, I come back to the user's manual, and I can find that faceplate, further down in the manual. So what we will do is we would just basically find the faceplate we want, and we will drag it, click on it, and drag it here into the UI folder. That's all we got to do. Just to show you that the safety device library is here as well. So just click on a few of these to show you that safety feedback interface. Just again get some information on each of those. The other thing that that the book suggests is that we want to use the ISA style sheet. So in the library, there's also another kind of section called style sheets. So they have some predefined style sheets available to us. Friendly dark, friendly light, ISA style sheet, and the material dark. So when you read through the book on the faceplates, it suggests that you use the ISA style sheet because that's what the faceplates are using, that style sheet. So to use a style sheet, if you're not familiar with that process, what you typically do is you can create a folder. In this case, this isn't a pre-built application, so they have a folder under UI created called style sheet. You would just create this folder, come up here to UI and say new, let me close this. So say new, and then create a new folder down here at the bottom. So right, just create a folder again, and then back at the library, all I would do is I would just take this style sheet and drag it here to the folder. All right, I'm not going to do it since it's already there. Then to use the style sheet, if I click on this, we'll see over here in the properties, these are all the properties for the project, the style sheet to use. To basically reference this style sheet, we'll come up here to the native presentation engine. And when we come to the, there's a style sheet property, and we want to link it to this ISA style sheet. So basically we can just drag it over here. By default, it won't have that there if you have a new project going. Okay. The other piece of this is that basically we can click on these other folders that have been created in this project, such as power, discrete, velocity, motion, and monitoring extensions. And we can see that there are that's where the faceplates have been brought in. So these RAC 303 device, these are all the faceplates. They were simply just dragged into this particular folder. This type panel here is just basically what the screen is. So here's the objects that are on the screen, and in this case we have some text buttons and some graphical buttons. So if I clicked on this graphical button, basically it's referencing, and I'm going to try to bring this over a little bit more, but this is referencing the device tag device AS280E. And again, that will bring us back to over here, device AS280E, right? So that's basically how we're linking optics back to the Logix controller. All right, so just to show you what this really does for us, I have the emulator running already, and this is the example application that comes. There's a page for discrete devices. There's a page for velocity devices, such as the Powerflex drives, motion for the kinetics, and power monitors. So all they're doing here in this example program is they're showing you that you have two ways to kind of call up the faceplate. One is a text button, and then one is the graphical button. So you'll get both of these come in the library as well. So the nice thing about the graphical buttons is it kind of gives you a little bit of a, an icon of what the device is. For instance, if I click on this is a Powerflex 527 SM107. So this is an example of what the faceplate looks like, right? So I don't have any data, unfortunately, because I'm not connected to, to real devices. But just to show you, we get kind of a home tab with some basic information on position and velocity, and you can get some control here. We get kind of the device health, little LEDs. We get a trend on position versus velocity trends here. We get if there's any error messages. Right. So every device we click on, so that was a 527, I believe. This is the Kinetics 5100. Right. So each faceplate for each device will be slightly different based on the devices themselves. If I come back to the power monitor, and let's say I'll click on this PM103. This is our Power Monitor 5000, right? So just some basic information on the energy consumption. This gives us all of our information, lines 1, 2, and 3, kilowatt, kilovar, kVA, and then we'll get our voltage and current on this tab. Some graph, it's like vector graph, right? So you can come through each of these tabs and just kind of get familiar with the various devices. This is an Armor Powerflex, another drive, basically on machine drive. And then under discrete, we have things like the E300. So an E300, we're going to get some basic information on current, full load amp percentage, and kind of status indicators, and some basic graphs. All right. So the faceplates are nice because, again, these are all been pre-built by Rockwell. You don't have to do anything. All you need to do is add the add-on instruction and then link it to this faceplate here in your HMI package, in this case Optix, and you're going to get all the information populates into the faceplate. Pretty simple. So again, a couple of things we need to be aware of is that this is only supported now in the new version 1.4 release of Optix, which is what I'm running. The other thing that is suggested at this point is that you need to make sure that you have your show advanced preview option checked. Now it's not checked for some reason here at the moment, although it was checked earlier, but make sure that your show feature previews is checked. And the reason for that is because one of the feature previews in version 1.4, which is basically a feature preview, is kind of a beta, something that will be coming out in probably the 1.5 release. But one of the feature previews is extended tag structure of logix tags. So you do have to have those extended tag properties available for some of these faceplates. So extended tag properties is a feature preview in 1.4. So make sure that that is checked. That's also documented in the user's manual. So anyway, this is pretty exciting. This is one of the things that we've been waiting for Optix. It has, again, just 2 libraries are out there currently, but additional libraries will continue to get updated throughout the rest of this year, so that we'll have a complete set of faceplate libraries for FactorTalk Optix.